Hi friends, Sumit from Madira Diaries. Today we'll do something different. I recently saw a friend make chocolate covered bourbon cherries made with dark or milk chocolate. I requested him if he can show me the process of how this is made, and he let me. These are also known as cherry cordials, and they're made with bourbon or sometimes even rum. For this purpose, we'll show you how it's made with bourbon. So let's get started. For the first step, you take maraschino cherries and strain out the liquid it comes in and replace it with a bourbon. For this purpose, you need not be fancy and can use bottom shelf bourbon like Old Grandad or Early Times. Store the cherries soaking in bourbon for a couple of months. So this step needs to be started early. As the longer you store, the more the cherries get the bourbon juice in them and more delicious they become. In this case, these cherries have already been stored in bourbon for 2 months and are getting rinsed out. Save some of the bourbon cherry juice as we will use it to spray the cherries for better sugar coating. Speaking of sugar coating, the next step is to tumble the cherries with powdered sugar. In this case, this little tumbler had been started overnight with some of the bourbon cherry juice and sugar so that the surface is slightly rough, which will ensure cherries don't get stuck to the surface and coat well with sugar. Then start placing some of the drained maraschino bourbon cherries into the tumbler. If you're doing it at home in a small batch, you could be ingenious and use a bucket for tumbling a small batch with hand. In India, we call that jugaad, street smart technology. Spray some of the bourbon juices to ensure better coating and adding another layer of sugar. Once the cherries are well covered with sugar, place them on a tray that has some more powdered sugar or confection sugar or cornstarch. Lot of sugar is used. We are making candied cherries, so that's the right way to do it. Now time for some quality check. Make sure the cherries are intact and have good layer of sugar. If not, the juices inside the cherry will come out while dipping in chocolate and take out all the fun. If they are not well coated, they go back into the tumbler. The well coated ones are sieved to remove the sugar that is not coated. All the well coated cherries are then allowed to dry in a room temperature or above a room heater. My friend is also using jugaad technology. Now is the fun part. Dipping these cherries in a swimming pool of melted chocolate. You can melt plain milk or dark chocolate bars. Once they are smooth and well melted, it's time to pick the cherries and cover them with chocolate. You can also put a nice design on top. Once they are coated, they need to be cool for few hours, so the chocolate cover is solid. After cooling, if you see some leaks, you'll need to add another layer of chocolate coating and also coat the base so the cherry juice do not leak. If all these sound tough, my friend can make them for you. Now let's taste the finished product. I'll try the dark chocolate one. So let's take it out. It has a base of the chocolate to make sure no cherries leak. Let's taste it. Cheers. I need to take a bigger bite of the cherry. But I get those juices from the bourbon cherry and very good dark chocolate. I think you should eat it in one bite, but I wanted to show you the cherry. The cherry is delicious. It's a bourbon candy. Try making it home. You'll have to make it in a smaller batch, but if not, just buy it from somewhere. If you like this video, do click the like button. Write in the comments if you have tasted a bourbon chocolate. Until next time, Sumit from Madira Diaries.